What's good, everybody? Travo and Cream Pro Wrestling Podcast. Find us here on the YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Cream flying solo tonight. I drew the short straw. No, that's not at all how we decided this. Cream is going to review the Friday show solo for the foreseeable future, which is totally fine with me, you know. Quick bit of business. If you have not checked out our Dynamite review, man, what are you doing? I'm about to review Rampage, and you haven't even watched Dynamite. Come on, so go there, watch that. If you haven't watched Travo's top 10 wrestlers he would like to see in AEW, make sure you check that out too. Give that a like. You know, Travo does good work over here, definitely. He deserves it. He deserves a like. He deserves a like. So, we're going to review WWE Smackdown. This is our first WWE review on the show. I don't mind reviewing Smackdown. I think it's a great show. And then we're going to get into AEW Dynamite afterwards. So, Smackdown kicked off with a video package recapping the past couple of weeks. The Sami Zayn and Brock Lesnar saga. Sami Zayn had a title match a couple weeks ago that he feels Brock Lesnar cost him. I mean, I guess so. Poor Sami Zayn. Everything he said up to this point about getting, a conspiracy against him, totally coming true. Show kicked off with a match after the video package. Women's tag action, Sasha Banks and Toni Storm versus Shotzi and Charlotte Flair. This was good women's action. Very good. Very good match. Sasha and Charlotte mixed it up a good bit. My early prediction for the WrestleMania match for the SmackDown Women's title. In the end, Toni Storm, who is the number one contender to Charlotte Flair, she picks up a roll-up victory over the champion. And she earns herself a title match on Christmas Day, maybe Christmas Eve. But the match is happening. Next we had New Day backstage. The loser locker room is pretty much just giving King Woods props, sucking up to the king. Rick Boogs even kisses the ring. It was just a weird segment. Thank goodness the Usos came in to interrupt. They said that they're going to beat the New Day tonight, non-title match, and they're going to beat them at day one. They have a match at day one, which is the next pay-per-view. But more on that later. Next, we had the Viking Raiders video, or not a video package, but an entrance, and then a commercial break. So then we came back from that commercial break. Sonya versus Naomi, Sonya Deville and Naomi, they have been feuding over the last couple weeks. Actually, probably months at this point. Pretty much just catching us up on the feud. Xia Li made her debut last week as some kind of like weird vigilante character. She made the save after the bad guy team of Natalya and Shayna Baszler was beating down on Naomi. So then we had a Natalya interview. She just pretty much talked crap about Xia Li. Totally going to lead to a match. Next we had the Raw review. Not going to be a Raw review on the Travo and Cream channel for any of those who thought maybe so. Maybe if we get enough support for it, we can swing it in there. But as far as must-see TV, it's not really there. I will say I do enjoy what they're doing with the main event picture. They have a fatal four-way at day one for the WWE Championship. So yeah, I mean, that's good stuff, but as far as must-watch television, not really. Next, we had the Viking Raiders match. They were against Jinder and Shanky, but they waited in the ring a long time. It took a while to get back to them. The match wasn't very long, but it was pretty good. They were hyping up Shanky pretty crazy. They definitely see a lot in him. Big 7'1", guy with some potential younger guy. Viking Raiders, of course, pick up the win because they're not Jinder Mahal and Shanky. Next, Drew McIntyre arrived in the mail, and it was a him and Adam Pearce video package. It was a recap. Adam Pearce excluded Drew McIntyre from the #1 contender battle royal, and then Drew McIntyre put his sword through Adam Pearce's desk. Not really sure why. Seems kind of petty, honestly. But yeah, so that happened. Then there was some weird security cam footage. Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin, as he's known now, definitely not into this character change, and his protege Madcap Moss, they stole the desk with the sword in it, and then they were going to have a segment next, Happy Talk. We went to commercial, come back, and Paul Heyman is outside the building. He's waiting on Roman Reigns to arrive. Car pulls up. Who gets out? Not Roman Reigns. It was not. It was Brock Lesnar. And they have kind of an awkward exchange. More on that later. Then we had Happy Talk. Man, they were in Chicago. This was getting CM Punk chants. Wish Travo was here to sing the CM Punk theme song. Yeah, it wasn't a good segment at all. There was really nothing meaty here. It was just to set up a match later on at day 1. Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss, which kind of could have just been on a Smackdown, That was later on, but Drew McIntyre finally interrupts, thank goodness. Clears the ring, beats up the bad guys, takes the sword and Excalibur style pulls this thing out after the heels couldn't do it. They were too weak to do it, so that was how that segment ended. Next, we come back to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce in the office, the authority figures. Sami Zayn comes in. He's talking about the Christmas season, but he's trying to swindle something. So pretty much, he does swindle something. They give him a spot in a match next week, the 12 Days of Christmas Gauntlet match. So this is going to be a 12-way gauntlet match. More on that later. Next we had Sheamus come out with his protege Ridge Holland. Ridge had a match versus Cesaro. Before the match, Cesaro and Sheamus were about to go at it, and Ridge gets a cheap shot on Cesaro. Bump the camera there. So then we cut to commercial. Was the match going to happen? Nobody knows. We're going to cut to commercial and leave you at a cliffhanger. They come back. They do have the match. Ridge Holland versus Cesaro. I mean, a TV match here. Not a barn burner, but establishing Ridge Holland. He picks up the win after some Sheamus interference, of course. He wasn't going to pick up a clean win on Cesaro. But yeah, he gets the win. I will say, between some young talents like Tony Storm, Shotzi in the first match, you had Shanky in the tag match, and then you had Ridge Holland here. That's a good core of new people, so hopefully they continue to build them up and they believe in them truly. Let's see, what did we have next? Oh, Drew McIntyre was backstage. He was looking for Corbin and Madcap, and they were running from him because he had the sword. Next we had Naomi's entrance and then a commercial break. Then we actually did come back to Naomi in the ring. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that we went away from a segment just to come back to the same segment. She pretty much talks crap about Sonya, trying to get her to come out, trying to get another match with her. Sonya makes her fight Shayna Baszler. it was an official match, but it was not very long. Shayna gets rolled up pretty quickly by Naomi. Naomi outsmarts the, unga bunga heel muscle of the authority figure type storyline. It was a good come up for Naomi. Hopefully, Sonya will in the end get her just desserts. Next, as I said before, we had Corbin and Madcap interview, and they were hiding in a closet. And it just pretty much set up the match between Madcap and Drew McIntyre. So, all my confidence points at day one on Drew McIntyre at this point. Next, we had King Woods and Sir Kofi entrance before we went to break. Then we had the Usos. They didn't know this match was official until we came back from commercial break, and they were actually going through with the match. These two teams could probably have a good match in their sleep. This was some pretty good stuff. It was a little sloppy at first, I guess, but quickly forgiven. They put on some good stuff. Kofi gets the win, hit the Trouble in Paradise on Jimmy Uso after some legal man syndrome. So it wasn't a clean loss for the Usos, who are the SmackDown Tag Champs. Next, Roman finally arrives. Man, he could have helped the Usos win the match if he had just been there earlier, but he shows up with 20 minutes left in the night. It doesn't make any sense, but he says, Paul Heyman, let's go to the ring. We had announced for next week Toni Storm versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship, SmackDown Women's title. Sorry, my cat doing some weird stuff over here. 12-person gauntlet match, and here are the participants. They are the Viking Raiders, both members. Drew Gulak, Mansoor, Ricochet, Cesaro, Sheamus. Two people there, Cesaro, Sheamus. Sami Zayn, Jinder, and Shanky, both of them. And Los Lotharios, who are Angel Garza and Humberto. But I have faith. I think it's going to be a good match for anybody that's watching. And then main event segment, Roman comes out with the Bloodline. Kind of scolds the Usos for losing, but quickly forgives them. He asked Paul Heyman a bunch of tough questions, man. And Heyman was continually getting more and more upset. Finally, Heyman told him the truth. Roman, I'm protecting you from Brock Lesnar. And that's not what Roman wanted to hear. He fires Paul Heyman as his advocate, which, big mistake there, man. Have you ever heard Paul Heyman mess up in a promo? Shout out to our friend B-Ton. Yeah, man. So they attack him. Roman hits him with a Superman punch. The Usos attack. They get Roman a chair. Roman's about to hit Paul Heyman with a concerto. That is just overkill, man. He's not even a wrestler. Come on, Roman Reigns. Really? Really? Innocent Paul Heyman? It's okay, he doesn't go through with it because Brock Lesnar comes out to make the save. He beats up the Usos after taking a mean super kick to his chin. It looked to knock him out for a second, but Brock Lesnar, he ain't no punk, man. He quickly rebounded, and he hit Roman with 2 F5s to end the show. So, we have 2 weeks until day 1, which is on January 1st. So we got some good build. Good lineup next week. We'll have to see what happens. Be back for the Rampage review. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Cream's Cards is what we'll call this segment. On today's episode, we're going to open 2 packs of Topps NXT 2021. Pick these up from Hobby Shop. See what we get. Maybe Travo will throw this into a commercial for one of our videos. Who we got? Imperium defeats Breezango. That's not my era of NXT. Oh, I do like Elgato del Fantasma. Adam Cole, baby! Yes, you know how Travo and I feel about Adam Cole. Yes. Io Shirai. That's a pretty cool looking card, I guess. Marcel Bartel. I do like Imperium, though. Walter, definitely one of my personal favorites. The finishing of Elgato del Fantasma forming. Escobar takes off the mask after winning the Cruiserweight title. Whoa, bro! It's Matt Riddle! Just called Riddle now. Defeated Timothy Thatcher in the fight pit. That was definitely a fantastic match. Let's go for pack number 2. Can we pull an autograph? Or something of note? Something of note. Look, there's the Wise Wizard. Say hey. What's good? Alright, first card in the pack. We got a Dexter Lumis. Defeated Roderick Strong. Interesting. I don't remember that happening. What do we got here? Cameron Grimes. He earned a spot in the North American ladder match. See, once it got on USA Network, I just lost touch with NXT. Like, I really watched it on WWE Network. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch retained the tag championships. They were definitely one of my favorite tag teams, I feel like, of that era. James Drake, Grizzled Young Veterans. Love the Grizzled Young Veterans. Chase Parker, man, now of AEW fame, member of 2.0. Wow. Breezango. Yeah, man. R.I.P. Breezango. Alright, final card in the pack. What do we got? Just Jack Atlas defeats Drake Maverick. Disappointing finish to the pack, but I feel like we got some cool stuff here. Of course, the highlight. Always a highlight. Adam Cole, baby! Alright, this has been Cream's Cards. We'll see you soon.
And this commercial break is brought to you by Milo's Tea. This is not a paid sponsorship, a paid advertisement. I just love the tea.
Alright, everybody, welcome back. It is time for our AEW Rampage review. If you're still with me, hit that like button, buddy. Leave me a comment down below. Everything you do helps us grow. Rampage kicked off with the much anticipated 8-man tag, the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, baby, and Bobby Fish versus Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Orange Cassidy, and Travo's personal favorite, Rocky Romero. This was a fantastic match, as you think it would be on Rampage. Just good wrestling, clever spots, great action. The end sees Trent actually hit his finisher on Bobby Fish and gets the win. So Trent, in his first match back, picks up a win. No Kyle O'Reilly debut. I knew as soon as it was the first match that it wasn't going to happen, but much anticipated. We'll have to see. Next up, we had Dan Lambert return. Man, I wish Travo was here to voice his displeasure about Dan Lambert. He's with Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky, and Ethan Page. They just cut a promo about how crappy wrestling is and they can do better. A wild Cody appears. Dan Lambert talks some crap about Cody. He comes out, acts like he's going to cut a promo, but he just attacks. The numbers game quickly gets him, though. There's 2 Men of the Year and only one Cody. Dustin Rhodes, the natural, he makes the save. But Dan Lambert gets involved. The numbers again add up. So who makes the save? Sammy Guevara, Cody's opponent for the Christmas Day edition of Rampage, makes the save. So we'll have to see. I'm very curious where they're going to go there. You know, good guy Sammy has the title defense against, you know, Cody, who's kind of, sort of in tweener territory. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Next, we had a TBS Championship video package, just pretty much promos from all four competitors about how they're going to win. There is a match on Dynamite. Next week, Ruby Soho versus Nyla Rose to see who will go on to the finals. Next up, we had women's action. Tay Conti versus Penelope Ford. This was a submission match. And a good one. Good women's action on the night here on both shows. Penelope had Bunny in her corner, and Conti had Anna Jay. So there was lots of interference. Conti eventually picks up the win with an amazing looking submission. Really looked legit, like it could hurt. After the match, Bunny attacks with the brass knuckles. That's been her gimmick here recently, is to hit people with the brass knuckles. But Anna Jay makes the save with the chair. So their feud probably is going to continue. Give me a set of women's tag championships. These two teams are good. Why fight it? Let's see. Next we had the match card for next week's Dynamite and Rampage, but it definitely moved through way too fast. Make sure you watch our reviews next week to learn what those matches are, because Excalibur was just talking a million words a minute. I just couldn't keep up. Next, are you ready for this? It was main event time, but first, because it's Rampage, we have to get our Mark Henry interview. So Mark Henry interviews 2.0 Daniel Garcia and the Acclaimed. They get pretty much all the words in until Eddie Kingston speaks up. He says, "We're going to kick your butt." And just him and his team walk out to the ring. A man of little words, but big action, you know. So Mark Henry, you know, he gets his catchphrases over, you know. And then we go to the main event, which was Eddie Kingston, Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, the Lucha Brothers, versus 2.0, Daniel Garcia, and the Acclaimed. So Kingston's team makes their entrances first. Then they attack the heel team during Max's rap, so I couldn't really give Max a grade. Excuse me. Just not too sure where he was going to go with it. This was a chaotic match. I mean, there was good action. The end saw Daniel Garcia and Eddie Kingston be the legal men, and Daniel Garcia actually picks up the sneaky roll-up victory over Eddie Kingston, upset. After the match, there's a huge beatdown. Everybody from the match is involved. There's not really a numbers game here. There's just a bunch of violence. We get Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and their mentor, Christian Cage. They come out and make the save. Not really sure. Don't remember if they have beef with 2.0 and the Acclaimed. But they save the face team, and then they hold up the tag straps before giving them back to Penta and Phoenix. So if that is the match, it's going to be a good one. I'm into Jurassic Express, and I'm into Lucha Bros. So give me that. That was Rampage. Breezy, quality show. Yeah, guys, so that's the Friday show. Let me know what you think. Do all the YouTube stuff. Hopefully, I'm throwing it to Travo here. But this is Cream, Travo and Cream Podcast, signing off. We'll see you next time.
Y'all just got done watching Cream review WWE Smackdown and AEW Rampage tune in every Friday night, baby, to tune in the Cream Show and he get your rolling, baby. This is Travo. Remember to keep it pimping like Rumpelstiltskin, baby. Like, comment, subscribe, and we love you. Bye.